Well, I kind of felt that maybe it was time to have a little talk. Let's talk about the black on white violence, white on black violence, the police shootings, gun control, all of it. First off, first thing, racism. My parents didn't teach me to be a racist. They didn't teach me. They taught me to love any man, no matter the color of their skin, and to give every man an opportunity. Okay, back in the 80s and 90s, that didn't happen for me. I was beat up, bullied, because of the color of my skin by black people. Okay, this didn't just happen to me. It happened to everybody. You know, those were confusing, bad times. I get it. But that didn't turn me into a racist. But what I will say did happen is, the problem with your shootings, the white on black shootings, being a police officer shootings, and all this shit, it happened because of the very same thing. You created the monster because you wouldn't let the white man walk through your neighborhoods and go to the simple store or do whatever they were doing. You created the monster, and now you don't know how to deal with it. Plain and simple. You beat a person and you bully them and you get them to hate you, and then when they educate themselves and become the very thing that you hate the most of all, you want to scream racism and white on black shootings and this and that shit. That don't fly. You created that monster. Now you don't know how to deal with it. You want to scream racism. Race didn't have nothing to do with it. Race had a lot to do with it, but, it kind of seems to me to be a little reverse racism there. Okay? If you're out in a neighborhood at 2 o'clock in the morning and you have a pocket in one pocket you have cash, thousands and thousands of dollars, and in the other pocket you have drugs, and you got a 9mm in your waistband, what the fuck do you think's going to happen? You ain't out there for a social call. And you can't expect the police to think any differently. They are trained to do one thing, and that is to serve and protect by all means. Maybe you shouldn't be reaching for that waistband when you got a pocket full of drugs and money in your pocket, or maybe you should. But don't blame society for it. Maybe you should have been out at 2 o'clock in the morning with a pocket full of drugs in one pocket and money in the other and a gun in your waistband. It's stupid shit like that. Then you want to claim racism? He had his hands up? What the fuck? Give me a break. The school shootings. I said this a couple days ago. A lot of these school shootings could be solved with education and a 50-cent lock. You don't want your kids carrying guns to school? Lock your fucking guns up. Period. Teach your kids the proper way to deal with a bully. That isn't going to the teachers, that isn't talking to people. You go up and you punch that fucking bully in the face. You might get your ass whipped, but that bully will respect you and will leave you alone. That's how you deal with a bully. I hear all this bullshit about racism and bullies and school shootings, and all this shit could be solved with one simple thing, and that's, education. Educate yourself if you want respect. Because you ain't going to get respect if you're trying to be a gangbanger thug. You ain't going to get respect when you're beating up the white man and you're blaming the white man for something that happened to you 300 years ago. Get over it. I had nothing to do with that. I certainly didn't deserve to get my ass whipped for being white. You know, and you know what? You create the monster. You uncork the bottle, and you can't put that cork back in. It doesn't happen like that. You know, your scars might run back to the Civil War, but my scars are just as deep. Why don't you think about that? Thank you.